told you about having cerebral palsy, I wanted to bury that story. I didn't want to talk about that story because all through growing up, all I wanted to do was fit in. I didn't want any special treatment. I just wanted to be treated like any other kid. So anytime cerebral palsy was brought up or anything that would go to that manner, I'd almost be in tears talking about it. So I didn't want to talk about it. And I thought, there's no way I'm going to ever get any tractions in this business if I'm not vulnerable with my clientele. So I started opening up about having cerebral palsy, and it was almost magical because people would come up to me and go, you know what, I don't have cerebral palsy, but I have X, Y, and Z, and I really think that you'd be able to help me because you went through this. I'd like to have a conversation with you. And slowly but surely, I started getting more and more clients that wanted to work with me, all because of me sharing my story, and that brings me here today.
And I think that's beautifully said because you're in a situation where you're going from being different, but you're always looking to fit in, as you mentioned, right, from high school to the different jobs that you have. And one thing I would love to point out and highlight for everyone listening is that you're always able to adapt to your surroundings, which shows how determined you were to be the best version of yourself. For example, when in high school, you had some difficulty with the teasing and the bullying. And then once you made the varsity team and your energy shift, you became more confident. You started to believe in yourself. You started to perform in ways that maybe you didn't think you can perform. And I look at those situations and I love tying it back to the childhood because your mother, in a lot of ways, was very similar. She had a child that was going through this and she was able to encourage, to nurture, to grow that child to the man that I'm interviewing today. Then you went to the bank job through your friend and you had something to prove. You did well. Yes, you may have had some failures, but failing and falling flat on your face, I say this time and time again, it is one of the best ways to learn because when you're out there in the forest, in the jungle, and all you have, Paul, and for those listening, all you have is yourself. All you have is me, my determination, my ambition, and my resourcefulness to get to the point, to get successful, to be successful. And here you are, you want to be a life coach. You went at it through the experience, through all these things that was motivating you. And as you mentioned, you had this person come in and they blew you away and you knew this was what you wanted to do. It was like your calling. Did it feel like this is me? Was that the moment in your life where you were like, this is why I survived what I survived in my childhood, because now I could try to bring people up the same way so many other people in my life early on did for me?
Oh, no question about it. I really think that it's always been a theme in my life. And growing up, I've always loved, those underdog stories like Rudy, Stand to Deliver, Remember the Titans, you name any inspirational story. I probably seen it already because I loved it. I've always wanted Pursuit of Happiness, another one that I really love. But yeah, I've always been that way, when talking with people, just on the street or maybe even in an Uber car or whatever, when they say they have these ambitions, these high ambitions, I always light up when they say to me I want to be an actor, I want to be a CEO of a company, I want to do this, I want to do that and because a lot of people that say that, or a lot of people that they say that to probably say, forget it, you can't do it because these goals are so grandiose. But they still have that grit to say, no, I'm going to do it. And I admire that. I've always did. And I always wanted to help those people when things got tough, when they were in the weeds, because we all have these weak moments. And I want to be that boost of inspiration to go, no, you can't. You're just having a weak moment. We need to switch that mind thinking right now because you can do it. And yeah, so to answer your question, yes.